Yo, what is up guys? This is Pedro here, and training camp is finally here, and in today's video I will be bringing you guys a training camp recap. I'll be showing you guys some highlights from today's practice. I'll give you guys an injury update, and we'll talk about the biggest takeaways from today's practice. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers, so it mean a lot if you guys could help me get there. So let's get right into the video, and we'll go ahead and start with some of the highlights from today's practice. I got some clips from Chase Young, Jamin Davis, Terry McLaurin, Jamin Brown, pretty all the quarterbacks, and Landon Collins, which was a good one as well. So let's get into them. Alright, so those were the highlights from today's practice. Now let's get into some of the biggest takeaways and some big plays that happen. And if we have time, we'll go over Ron Rivera's press conference. So the biggest theme of today is really moving all these players around so much. I mean, especially the secondary. These players really played all different types of spots. So you see right here, the starting group was Cameron Curl, Landon Collins at safety, and then Jamin Davis, Cole Holcomb, and John Bostic all together. And I assume Jamin Davis was playing the middle linebacker, and that's what they said. Holcomb was probably playing the Sam, and John Bostic was probably playing the Will linebacker. And another thing that happened today, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and a lot of different reporters said this, he was throwing a lot to Adam Humphries. And it's good that Ryan Fitzpatrick at least has someone that he has some good chemistry with, so I do like that. And then you look at this next tweet right here. This, like I said, safeties were rotating. Cameron Curl was actually playing some free safety today, and that's what the starting group was Cameron Curl and Landon Collins, and Cameron Curl was at free safety and Landon Collins was at strong safety. That is going to be a really, really interesting dynamic. Really, the whole safety position. These were kind of the rotations that they had. Curl and Collins, Collins and McCain, and then Curl and McCain as well. So they had a bunch of different, combinations right there, and we'll see which one ends up being the, final two. It's going to take a while. We'll probably start to get, a good sense of who the final two safeties are in about a couple weeks when, they get more, the coaching staff gets more time to see these players. And also what I really like is Kendall Fuller was at the slot for a little bit and Benjamin St-Juste was on the outside. So I really think eventually once Benjamin St-Juste is totally ready, that's going to be, the lineup. Benjamin St-Juste and William Jackson on the outside with Kendall Fuller in the inside. So I like to hear that, but again, they're all rotating around. The coaching staff wants to see how these players handle certain situations. Roberts and Jimmy Moreland also took some reps inside. Like I said, Landon Collins and Cameron Curl were the two starting safeties. Landon Collins at strong safety, Cameron Curl at free safety, and I would prefer Cameron Curl at free safety, but Cameron Curl does have some of those skill sets where he can play free safety for you guys, or for us, sorry. Jamin Davis was at Mike, like I said, and I do like that, and apparently had a really, really good day today in terms of just handling the signal calls and everything. Ron Rivera praised him in his press conference. And Landon Collins was at strong safety, and this is another combination right here. and Kendall Fuller and William Jackson at corner. Chase Young was doing Chase Young things. He blew past Sam Cosmi on the second play of 11v11s. And you got to remember, Sam Cosmi right now is taking the first team right tackle reps because Cornelius Lucas is on the reserve list. So, I mean, that's going to be, good in my opinion, at least for his development. Sam Cosmi is going to get a bunch of first team reps, and it's really good practice to have Chase Young and Montez Sweat going up against him. And I forgot to talk about an injury update, but Tim Settle, DeShazer Everett, they're on the non-injury football list or illness list, and then Cornelius Lucas is on the reserve list, and Curtis Samuel is on the PUP list. And one thing right here, and this was part of the press conference, but I really like this. Ron Rivera says that he really sees a lot of Charles Tillman in Benjamin St. Juste, Peanut Tillman, who is just probably the best cornerback of all time in terms of forcing fumbles. Just an absolute beast, and he was really, really good for many, many years. And yeah, I mean, that's a really, really good comparison for Benjamin St. Juste to have. And then, everyone wants to hear this. Taylor Heineke had a deep completion to Sammis Reyes. And apparently there was like 3 guys on Reyes. Reyes was still able to make the catch, so you absolutely love to hear that. And now let's get into, these are going to be, just play-by-play from Zach Selby. So, I'll talk about some of them, but you guys will be able to read all of these right here while I go through. So Cam Sims made a couple nice catches today. And like I said, Montez Sweat and Chase Young were doing Montez Sweat and Chase Young things today, being super disruptive in the backfield. And, Patterson also had a, nice run today. And Ron Rivera, again, praised him and Jamin Davis, especially in his, press conference, saying they got really good retention in terms of, what the coaching staff is telling them and how they're implementing that into their game. Schweitzer had a pretty nice block on Jonathan Allen. And, Fitzpatrick, for the most part, at least according to, the reporters, he had a pretty good day finding, Adam Humphries a ton, De'Ami Brown, and, had a couple of deep shots to Cole Holcomb. Not Cole Holcomb. I was reading the next tweet. He had a couple nice completions, deep completions, to Terry McLaurin. Cole Holcomb almost had a pick. I think he's going to have a great year for the Washington football team this year. I really, really do. I think he's going to have a great year right here. Jamie Reeves also had a pretty good day today. And Derek Forrest, who is another sleeper, made a really nice play on the ball after Isaiah Wright looked like he had it in his hands, but Derek Forrest kind of stripped it away from him, so that's good. And, probably the play of the day, or one of the plays of the day, Fitzpatrick unloaded a deep shot to Terry McLaurin, who hauled in the throw, so that's really good to hear. Antonio Gandy Golden also had a nice catch, and a couple other things I've heard, as you guys can read some other things. Kelvin Harmon looked good. Apparently William Bradley King has looked pretty good, had a couple batted balls, so that's good for him as well. That competition for that next defensive end is going to be absolutely huge. And this is another big thing right here. The punt returners, Steven Sims, Isaiah Wright, DeAndre Carter, and Dax Milne. So, not anyone right there that you're like, wow, that guy 100% is going to make the roster. Some of those, Dax Milne has a chance, maybe. Sorry about that. DeAndre Carter has a chance. But that's really it, in my opinion. I don't think Steven Sims is going to make the roster. I don't think Isaiah Wright is going to make the roster. Dax Milne has a chance to make it as, that receiver / punt returner. And DeAndre Carter, maybe he can be a solid receiver for them, but if they keep him, it's going to be more for his punt return and kick return ability. So, those were kind of the big plays of the day. Jimmy Moreland had a pick off of Fitzpatrick, but it was a deflection off of Gibson. So now let's get into a couple takeaways from the press conference. Okay, and real quick, we'll talk about, a few things that Ron Rivera said during his presser. Said the coaches rotated a lot of guys at safety, and I talked about that. They want to see how these guys gel together and how the guys around them look, and they'll get a better sense of that once the preseason starts as well. So I like that. Also, Ron Rivera says that he's He hopes that Logan Thomas and John Allen will be an example for other players. They want to keep their own, and if you do things the right way, you'll be rewarded. I absolutely love that because, like you said, it sets an example for the other players around him. They see Jonathan Allen, Logan Thomas work hard, and they're like, hey, I can get a deal done here, or I can get a long-term deal here as well. So I like that, and I think, I really like what Rivera said right there. And one thing I talked about earlier, but Rivera said Jamin Davis, who mostly played at the Mike linebacker position, stood out pretty quickly. There were a lot of younger players who had good reps in the first day. He's looking forward to their development and how, things become second nature to them. He also said, good things about Jarrett Patterson as well, and he likes, Cosme can play different positions. And one thing he also said is that they will be playing Sadiq Charles a little bit at right tackle because he has that position flex, and he played a little bit of that today. So nothing huge today, no big news, which during training camp, you like that there's no big news. We don't want any injuries, and weren't any injuries today, and no major drama, at least so far. There are still some players talking in the presser, but overall, good day. Fitzpatrick looked good. Heineke also looked good as well. There was only one pick, and it was a deflection. The defensive line looked good as usual. And so we'll have another video out tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Make sure you guys share this video out so other people can see it, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Peace, guys.